The air crackled. My stomach lurched. It felt as if the very fabric of reality was being torn apart and I was caught in the middle of it. The sensation was unlike anything I had ever experienced, a mix of fear and exhilaration that left me breathless. The world dissolved into a blinding white, then silence. An eerie, almost deafening silence that seemed to stretch on forever. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, each beat echoing in the void. I stumbled out, gasping. The air was thick, heavy with the scent of coal smoke and damp earth. It was a stark contrast to the sterile, controlled environment I had left behind. Every breath felt like a gulp of history, raw and unfiltered. Gaslights flickered, casting an eerie glow on cobblestone streets. The shadows danced and shifted, creating an almost otherworldly atmosphere. It was as if I had stepped into a different realm, one where the past and present coexisted in a delicate balance. I was in London, but not the London I knew. This was a city from another time, a place where history was still being written. The buildings, the streets, everything was both familiar and alien at the same time. This was a London of horse-drawn carriages and top hats, a city on the cusp of the Industrial Revolution. The air buzzed with the energy of progress and change, yet there was an underlying sense of uncertainty, as if the future was still being forged in the fires of innovation. My time weaver, clutched tightly in my hand, hummed with residual energy. It was a lifeline, a tether to my own time, and a reminder of the incredible journey I had undertaken. The device was both a marvel of technology and a symbol of the unknown. It was real. Time travel was real. The concept that had fascinated humanity for centuries was now a tangible reality in my grasp. The implications were staggering, and the possibilities seemed endless. I felt a surge of exhilaration, the thrill of the unknown. The world was a vast, uncharted territory, and I was an explorer on the brink of discovery. Every corner held the promise of adventure, every moment a chance to witness history firsthand, but it was quickly followed by a chilling realization. I was utterly alone. In this vast, unfamiliar world, there was no one to guide me, no one to share in my journey. The weight of isolation pressed down on me, a stark reminder of the risks I had taken, a stranger in a strange time. What had I gotten myself into? The enormity of my situation began to sink in, and I couldn't help but wonder if I had made a terrible mistake. Yet, amidst the fear and uncertainty, there was a spark of determination. I had come this far, and there was no turning back now. Days turned into weeks and weeks into months. I adapted, marveling at the pace of life, so slow compared to my own time. The cobblestone streets, the horse-drawn carriages, and the gas lamps that lit up the night created a mesmerizing atmosphere. It was a world so different, yet so captivating. I explored bustling markets, witnessed the grime and grandeur of Victorian society. The vendors shouted their wares, the smell of fresh bread mingled with the stench of the streets, and the vibrant colors of the market stalls were a feast for the eyes. It was a sensory overload, a stark contrast to the sanitized digital world I came from. But the thrill of time travel began to wane, replaced by a gnawing loneliness. The novelty of the Victorian era wore off, and I found myself yearning for the familiar sounds and faces of my own time. The isolation was palpable, and the silence of the past became deafening. I missed my family, my friends, the familiar rhythms of my life, the laughter of my friends, the warmth of my family's embrace, and the simple joys of modern conveniences were all but distant memories. The Victorian era, with all its charm, couldn't fill the void left by the absence of my loved ones. One day, overcome with a longing for connection, I made a mistake. In my desperation, I reached out to a stranger, hoping to find some semblance of the companionship I craved. It was a moment of weakness, a lapse in judgment that would have unforeseen consequences, a small, seemingly insignificant act of kindness, helping a lost child find his mother. It was a simple gesture, a moment of human connection that brought a smile to my face. But little did I know, this act would ripple through time, altering the course of history in ways I couldn't have imagined. I returned to my own time, my heart lighter for the human connection. The portal closed behind me, and I felt a sense of relief wash over me. I'd made a difference, however small, and it gave me a renewed sense of purpose. But I returned to a world subtly different, a world where familiar faces were missing, replaced by strangers. The streets were the same, but the people were different. The world I knew had shifted, and I was left to navigate this new reality, forever changed by my journey through time. Driven by a desperate need to understand the consequences of my actions, I set the Time Weaver for the future. The world I landed in was sleek and sterile, dominated by towering structures of glass and steel. Flying vehicles zipped through the sky and people interacted with holographic displays that shimmered in the air. It was breathtaking, awe-inspiring, and utterly alienating. The people, with their augmented realities and emotionless facades, seemed more machine than human. I felt a profound sense of disconnect, a chilling premonition of a future devoid of genuine connection. Returning to my own time, I discovered the world in chaos. The small change I'd made in the past had rippled through time, creating a butterfly effect of unintended consequences. Natural disasters raged, economies crumbled, and political unrest gripped the globe. The weight of my actions crashed down upon me. I had been so focused on the wonders of time travel, the allure of exploring the past and future, that I had failed to grasp the profound responsibility that came with it. I had become a force of destruction, an unwitting agent of chaos. Driven by guilt and a desperate need to set things right, I embarked on a series of perilous journeys through time. I tried to undo the damage I'd caused, to nudge events back on course, but with each trip the situation grew more complex, the web of cause and effect more tangled. I learned the hard way that time was not a river to be navigated, but a vast, interconnected ocean. Every action, no matter how small, created ripples that spread outward, impacting the present and all the moments yet to come. Exhausted and filled with despair, I retreated to a secluded mountaintop, the Time Weaver lying dormant in my hands. The weight of my experiences pressed down on me. The wonders of time travel had lost their luster, replaced by a profound understanding of its power and peril. I realized then that time travel was not a gift to be taken lightly. It was a burden, a responsibility that no one person should ever bear. The past, with all its triumphs and tragedies, was best left undisturbed. The future, though uncertain and full of unknowns, was not mine to manipulate. With a heavy heart, I deactivated the Time Weaver, vowing never to use it again. The machine, once a marvel of human ingenuity, now seemed like a relic of a misguided ambition. I had spent countless hours, days, and even years traversing the corridors of time, seeking answers, seeking solace, seeking something that always seemed just out of reach. But in the end, all I found was the realization that the present moment, the here and now, was where true life unfolded. My journeys through time had taught me a valuable lesson. The true value of existence lay not in chasing shadows of the past or glimpsing into the mysteries of the future, but in embracing the present moment. Each moment, each breath, each heartbeat held a universe of experiences waiting to be lived. The beauty of a sunset, the tranquility of a quiet park, the gentle flow of a river, these were the things that truly mattered. I returned to my own time, forever changed by my experiences. The familiar sights and sounds of my world now seemed imbued with a deeper significance. Every face I saw, every voice I heard, every touch I felt was a reminder of the preciousness of the present. I stood in front of my house, a place that had always been just a backdrop to my life, and saw it anew as a sanctuary, a haven, a home. The world was still recovering from the temporal tremors I had unleashed, but there was hope. Communities were coming together, people were rebuilding, nature was healing. The scars of the past were still visible, but they were being transformed into symbols of resilience and renewal. The collective effort to restore what had been lost was a testament to the indomitable spirit of humanity. I dedicated myself to using my knowledge to heal, to rebuild, and to cherish the precious, fleeting gift of the present moment. I planted trees, helped rebuild homes, volunteered at community events, and found joy in the simple pleasures of life. Each act of kindness, each moment of connection, was a step towards healing the wounds of the past and building a brighter future. The Time Weaver lay forgotten, a silent testament to the allure and the ultimate futility of trying to control the uncontrollable. It stood as a reminder that while we may yearn to change the past or foresee the future, the true power lies in living fully in the present. The vines that now covered it were a symbol of nature reclaiming its place, of life moving forward, of the world continuing to turn moment by moment.